Hi everyone, time for another Mad item review. So in this case we have the book Inside Mad, but there's a little bit more to it. So this book was brought out in 2013 and it's an inside look into the offices of Mad in New York. So let's have a bit of a look inside. It's an introduction by Judd Apatow. This edition is actually signed. It's signed by a few different people. It was signed in New York at a Barnes & Noble store in November 2013. Signed by John Ficarra, the editor, Desmond Devlin, Sam Viviano, Barry Lieberman, and Tim Cavell, and also none other than Al Jaffe on a little sticker that I can put anywhere. So let's have a bit of a look into the item itself, and then we can delve a bit more into the poster that came with it. So we have essays written by all sorts of different people, for example Judd Apatow and others. We have a few different parodies and just different pieces of the magazine that were important to the people writing each of the essays. Got Roseanne Barr there. I'm not going to go through every page, I'll just skip through a bit. Got Todd McFarlane. Whoopi Goldberg. Dane Cook. Ken Burns. John Stamos. Tony Hawk. Ice-T. Okay, and then we get to the middle. So the middle has a miniaturized version of the classic large Alfred poster, which you may have seen in a quite old edition of Mad. I believe it was More Trash from Mad in one of the specials. That one's actually quite hard to find. In an upcoming video I might actually show that poster as well, the full-size one. But yeah, that opens up, but what we have on the other side is quite interesting. So this is an inside look done by Sergio Aragones into Mad Magazine offices. Now, it's not going to show really on screen here, but we have all sorts of detail. Now, what you can do is you can actually navigate all the little pieces of detail all throughout this on Doug Guilford's website called madcoversite.com. It's a really good read, and you can go through all the different bits. And there's a lot of historical stuff about Bill Gaines, about different things that Mad used to do, and all the different staff that worked at Mad at some point. Now, a few years ago, us as the Mad community, primarily on Facebook, got together and tried to find out every little piece. If you found one of the pieces doesn't have a particular icon to it and explain what it's about, you may want to contribute that to Doug. One of the things that I found when I was looking into it was that down here we have this tour guide showing around some people to the Mad offices. Now we have this little picture of Alfred's head on a stick. Now it's a bit weird, you know, what's that about? But I had a collectible that I'd bought some years ago, and I think that that's what it is in reference to. So let's have a look at that collectible. So here we have a Alfred on a stick. It's got little eye holes there, and it was produced to try and get newsagents to buy Mad. It was a promotional material essentially, and as we can see there, it was licensed in 1993. You would notice that a similar thing to this is actually given out at Comic Cons and other comic events. Obviously the modern version of Alfred, not this one, and it's very similar to the other item I have. So this face here is actually a mask without the eyes poked out, and it's actually the same thing. This happens to be put on a stick. Obviously I didn't do this, but I'm pretty sure it relates to the thing I just showed you. So as I said, you can get this type of thing at Comic Cons now, but you can't get this older style Alfred, and I'm pretty sure it would be bigger as well. I'm not really showing good reference there, but yeah, you can see that. So if you've got any ideas about the particular items and they're not covered in that poster, certainly feed that back to Doug. I'm sure he'd like to have a look, but it's definitely worth a look, and you can zoom in and see all the different bits. Let's finish up the book now. Okay, we've got a piece from Slash here. Many of the people who were featured on the covers of Mad actually own the art to this. For example, Jerry Seinfeld owns the art for his cover. Penn Jillette. Jeff Probst, of Survivor fame, of course. Pendleton Ward of Adventure Time fame. Harry Hamlin. Anyway, I won't go through the entire magazine or book, rather, but you can read it at your leisure. You can still get this book. It's a very common purchase now. It's not too dear, and it's pretty good value. There's a lot of cool stuff in that, and it's nice to read stories about how Mad Magazine impacted different people at different times in their life. Okay, that's all for this item. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and we'll catch you next time.